Andrew Jack's coach, Chris Aceto, reveals how much bigger he's going to be at the 2023 Texas Pro, James Hollingshead's new coach, plus much more. What's up, Desktopers? Xavier Wills here for Desktop Bodybuilding, and we are back for another bodybuilding news video. And let's kick this one off with Samson Dauda in his latest updates. This one he was posted by Mil Sarchev, says not allowed to post for video, but I didn't confirm if the picture is not okay as well. ... And then he mentioned as well in the caption that he is 330 pounds at 12 weeks out. Now, Samson has put up some pretty crazy weights in past off seasons and in past contests, because I believe he was high 290s at the 2023 Arnold Classic, which he won. He's currently sitting about 35, 34 pounds above that weight, and he is in not bad shape at all. He's looking extra round. When you look at his arms, his chest, his traps, his abs, the legs, everything is just so round. And then when he turns to the back is looking hugely improved. It's looking rounder. It's looking fuller. It's definitely more filled out. He's doing that rear lat spread with the hands where they sort of collapse in a little bit, and it makes the back look a little bit more filled out. And most guys actually don't like it when they hit it like that. But Samson has such long arms, but I think it actually looks better on him doing the pose like that. And I rarely say that about anyone, but I think it actually suits Samson. And you can see the thickness coming through on his back as well, down into those erectors, which is the middle of the lower back. And yeah, it's just popping out at the top as well. And the back double bicep is not an impressive pose for Samson compared to the rear lat spread. Not as impressive, I mean. But when I last saw his back double bicep, it was definitely looking better. And when he's in shape, like he was at the 2023 Arnold Classic, the back double bicep didn't stand out as like, oh my God, he's getting wiped away here or anything like that. It was really much better, and the conditioning and everything really shone through. So I imagine by the 2023 Mr. Olympia, that's going to be even better as well. And I'm incredibly excited, and that's why Samson is one of the favorites for that 2023 Mr. Olympia title. Let me know, do you think Samson Dauda can win the 2023 Mr. Olympia? Now on to a man who said Samson's back is as flat as a board in Nick Walker. Nick's actually been very complimentary of Samson since then. If you listen to the Guy Sistanino and Nick Walker podcast, which is Mutant in the Mouth. And Nick is looking like an absolute mutant. The nickname lives up to it, and looking absolutely crazy here in this bicep training video. Now, we just recorded an episode of Bodybuilding University, which will be up tomorrow or later today, depending where you are in the world. And Stanimal Stan Delonge, who lives out there in Vegas, says he's seen Nick Walker in the gym, and he said that Nick is looking bigger than previous years, and he's just super crazy and super freaky. Nick as well has said on a recent podcast, I can't remember if I actually put this in a bodybuilding news video, but he said he's going to be about 17 pounds bigger and 265 pounds on stage. Now, Nick Walker's about 5'7", so that's an incredibly impressive weight. Because you think back to Ronnie Coleman, he was competing, I think, in the 280s frequently when he was competing, and he was 5'11". So Nick Walker being 4 inches shorter, but only being 20 pounds lighter, if that, it's absolutely insane. A lot of the time I say every inch you add sort of 10 pounds to a physique. So Nick Walker, is he going to be bigger in terms of muscularity-wise than Ronnie Coleman at the 2023 Mr. Olympia? It looks like he potentially could be. And he's going to bring some serious freak factor. If he can get in shape and be in crazy condition at 265, this will be like one of the freakiest guys that we've ever seen on stage. Full stop, any era, doesn't matter. So Nick Walker is also another guy that is a contender for that 2023 Mr. Olympia. And he was 248 pounds on stage at the 2023 Arnold Classic. So he could potentially be 17 pounds bigger. And if he's in somewhat comparable condition, that's going to be a very dangerous bodybuilder. Now, on to a man, Regan Grimes, that Nick Walker said should stick to the IG stuff. Obviously just having fun there, but yeah, obviously did say that. And Regan Grimes is looking damn impressive. Another Mil Sarchev client. The biceps are definitely looking improved. I don't know what he's done, but there's a bit more peak there from the front, which I think was something that Regan sort of needed. And I think it really sort of completes that front double bicep pose a lot more. And then when he turns to the back, Regan is always great from the back. He's looking about spot on for 4 weeks out of our Italy show. He's going to have some stiff competition in Nathan Diasha and another man is Blessing Awodibu, who's looking really, really good now. Since he started working with, I believe it's Cameron Cheek out there under Camp Jansen, he's just improving and improving, and the conditioning looks better and better. This front double bicep actually blew my mind. Like, the abs are so cut in and so deep, looks crazy. The arms are blowing my mind. Now, he's on a little bit of an angle there, so I think the biceps look even bigger and maybe makes the legs look a little bit smaller, because I can't remember his legs looking sort of that undersized compared to his upper body on stage in Chicago. But if he's able to bring this in really, really good shape, he's going to be a contender up there in that Italy show too. Let me know what you think in the comments. Who do you have winning that Italy show? Do you have Nathan D'Asha, Regan Grimes, or Blessing Awodibu? Or do you have someone else? Because there will be no doubt a fair few other European guys jumping in that show. And then you can see Blessing here from the back as well, looking much, much improved too. So cannot wait to see what the finished product actually looks like. Now, we've got a video here from Carlos Thomas Jr. 1 week out. I'll put the guy who actually did this video, I'll put that up on the screen now as well so you can see. Now, looking at this video, I actually saw it originally on Nick Strength and Power's channel, so shout out to him. He put this up, and this was actually posted a few days ago. This is from 1 week out of the Texas Pro. And I've got to be honest, it leaves me a little bit concerned in terms of conditioning, but we did discuss this also on the Bodybuilding University podcast. And Carlos is a guy that obviously has ulcerative colitis, so potentially he could be holding a little bit of fluid from that when he either adds in some sort of a diuretic or pulls water or whatever he does to dry out for this show. Could there be a dramatic difference, or is it not the best lighting of this video? Because you can see the conditioning's there. It's just about dialing it in and getting that real hard, crisp detail. Because he's going to be up against a few guys in Hunter Labrada and Andrew Jacked that, you know, we're pretty much guaranteeing, at least to some level, that they're going to be in pretty damn good shape. Especially considering we saw Hunter just 2 weeks ago looking in his best condition of all time. Andrew Jacked brought his best condition of all time at the Arnold Classic earlier this year, and we're going to hear what Chris Aceto has to say a little bit later in this video. But let me know what you think in the comments. Can Carlos Thomas Jr. win that 2023 Texas Pro, or do you think his conditioning may be an issue? Now, onto that man in Andrew Jacked. Chris Aceto had a few things to say about how much bigger Andrew Jacked is going to be at the 2023 Texas Pro on the latest episode of RX Muscle's Heavy Muscle Radio. So let's listen in.
And you're doing his diet, so I'm assuming we're going to see a much better version than we saw the last time. How much bigger do you think he'll be from the Arnold?
I think he's 5 pounds bigger. I think 5 pounds bigger. We'll see. But I sent you that you can't post some pictures. And
how does he look so much? He looks like he's 20 pounds bigger than he was at the Arnold.
Well, you know what? It's so fun. You know, it's right. One of those physiques where we say, like, God, if this guy could put on 5 pounds, how much would it look like on his frame? Whereas someone else, it's the frame. You know, the frame.
But he's tall too. I swear to you, I thought when you sent me those pictures, I thought he gained 20 pounds of muscle.
So obviously Dave Palumbo's seen the pictures and says it looks like he's gained 20 pounds of muscle. So Andrew Jacked must be looking pretty damn big in those photos. And Chris Aceto obviously doesn't know the exact weight Andrew's going to be on stage. So it could be 5, could be 10 pounds. Who knows? And if he's in great shape once again and in that same condition that he brought to the Arnold Classic earlier this year, or maybe even in slightly better shape, that 5 pounds could easily look like 10 pounds. And maybe like Dave says, it could look like 20 pounds. So very, very excited for Andrew Jacked and what he's going to be looking like this weekend. And if he's only 5 pounds bigger in terms of a fullness and all that sort of stuff, we know Andrew Jacked can grow. Like, that guy has crazy genetics. Maybe he's even in better shape than the Arnold Classic, which might make it very tough for a guy like Carlos Thomas Jr. in his pro debut. But let me know what you think in the comments. Will Andrew Jacked win that contest, or will Hunter Labrada or Carlos Thomas Jr. win that contest? Now onto the shed, James Hollingshead. Here's some recent updates from him, and he's got a new coach as well, and I found this very, very interesting. This was on the latest episode of Bodybuilding and Bollocks, which had Ben Chow, James Hollingshead, and Roman Fritz was on a little bit earlier in the episode, and obviously Fuad Abiad. And let's listen in to who is James Hollingshead's new coach.
You know Milos? You know Milos?
I'm
Fuad?
sorry? Yes?
Milos?
Milos, what about him?
I might have just hired him.
Oh, really? Oh, that's
I
fucking
did.
great.
He's helped me for the Arnold.
So Milos Sarcev is coaching James Hollingshead, and further confirmation that James is actually doing that Arnold Classic in 2024, which is very, very exciting. That's going to be the next time I believe we see James Hollingshead on stage So we're looking at about 6 months from now, we'll see the all new, improved James Hollingshead working under Milos Sarcev. And I messaged Milos about this as well. He didn't even know this information was actually out there. So I sort of let him in on it, and he says, "How do you know this?" And I said it was on the latest Fluid Abiad podcast. And he's like, "Ah." And then we had a little conversation about it, and he sounds excited. Milos has a huge passion for bodybuilding. He doesn't need to necessarily coach all these clients, but he does it out of passion. And you can hear when Milos is on podcasts and does all the interviews and stuff that he does, he is so passionate about this industry, and he has belief in James Hollingshead. And I do too, because we've seen some very good versions of James Hollingshead on stage. Especially, my mind always goes back to that British Grand Prix that he won in Luke Sando's honor, and I think we can see that once again, and potentially even better than that. And people were talking about James Hollingshead potentially being a top 6 Mr. Olympia competitor after that contest. Now, do I think James can get to that level? Maybe, but at least a top 10. My bold prediction for 2024, if James Hollingshead sticks with Milos Sarcev, is that he'll be in the top 10, let's say top 12 at worst, at the 2024 Mr. Olympia. And that would be a huge step in his career, and maybe even after that, he can step even higher. But let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Do you think this is a good move from James Hollingshead? And what do you think the ceiling is for James Hollingshead working under Milos Sarcev? Anyway, guys, hope you enjoyed this one. If you did enjoy this video, it'd be much appreciated if you could give the video a thumbs up, smash that like button. Also, subscribe and hit the notification bell button if you have not done that as yet. That way you'll be notified of every video that goes up for myself, Xavier Wills, at Desktop Bodybuilding, including all my coverage of this weekend's Texas Pro. I'm going to be live on Friday for prejudging, live on Friday for finals, live on Saturday for prejudging, live on Saturday for finals. So 4 lives coming your way. And probably even going live after these contests too, to break it down with a few big names. I've got Stanimal and Logan as well that have committed to coming on at some point. So I've said it on the podcast, so they have to do it. And very much looking forward to doing that for you guys. So make sure you do subscribe. That way you won't miss out on any of that this weekend. So for myself, Xavier Wills, this is Desktop Bodybuilding, and we are out.